Hi, thanks for joining me. So today's practice will be about 15 minutes. It's a great starter practice where if you're short on time, we will start standing. So come to the top of your mat or whatever space you're using and just set your feet. Come to a nice tall standing position, stacking the body, releasing the shoulders. Perhaps you close your eyes. And just take a few nice deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Starting to transition, coming into this time, in this space. Perhaps you set an intention for your practice or for your day. What words do you need to hear? And you simply begin to turn your head side to side, releasing through the neck and the shoulders. You bring your head back to center and begin to roll the shoulders. Warming up the body, getting the blood flowing opposite direction. And then just begin to let your arms swing. When you're warming up, if you feel like it, you can lift up your heels, start to build a little bit of heat and warmth through the legs. And then set your feet a little bit wider than your hips for standing cat-cow. So we soften through the knees, hands find the thighs, and we inhale, lift open the chest, and then draw the belly in and press the back towards the sky. Inhale, opening up, and exhale, rounding. Move with your breath here. Last time, and come all the way up to standing. You can keep your feet a little bit wider and find some rotation now through the spine. You can let your arms hang, or you can bring your arms up. Just noticing how that might change the sensation. Not forcing this. Just finding that range of motion through the torso. When we come back to center, we'll reset the feet to hip distance, feet parallel and planted. Mountain pose. Take a couple breaths, steady yourself. And then inhale, allow your arms to reach up overhead, palms face each other, and maybe interlace the fingers. Exhale, reach over to one side. Inhale to the center, and exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. We'll exhale, fold from the hips. So bend the knees, hands can find your thighs, your shins, perhaps blocks over the floor, so any height. And then inhale, flat back, lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, rising up. Exhaling to one side. Inhaling, center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold. Inhale, lift your chest, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press up through the feet, rising up. Last time like this, reaching to one side and center. Other side, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale for a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, lowering your hands to your heart. Hands will release to your hips. We'll step back for a low lunge. So soften through your knees. Your hips shift back a little bit. Right foot steps back. We drop the knee. We could keep the toes tucked or release them. Front knee over ankle. So we're finding a neutral pelvis. Of course, you can stay in a higher lunge if coming to the knee doesn't feel good. Hands might come to the heart or extend to the sky. Breathing here. And hands to the hips. Tuck your toes. You can either press up or hands might come to blocks. Lift the knees, step forward, and rise up. Other side. So we soften through the knees. Left foot steps back. Start to drop the knee. Again, you can keep the toes tucked or release them. Check in with your front knee. So you're squeezing, engaging, and then finding that arm position as you breathe here. And then you can release your hands. And again, you can lift up or hands could come forward to those blocks. And we all meet in mountain pose. Now we'll try high lunge. So if you did that already, you'll do it again. Soften, right foot steps back. Front knee over ankle. We again think about neutral pelvis. So sometimes softening in that back knee helps us get there. Shoulders are over the hips. And then find the arm position that works here. Steady your breath. Find your balance. Hands release to the hips. Step it forward. Give it a little shake out. Other side. So we soften. Left foot steps back. Front knee over ankle. Shoulders over the hips. Finding that neutral pelvis. Maybe softening through the knee to help us get there. And then finding the arms that work for you here. And then we step it forward. Give it a little shake out. And we'll come into a warrior one. So we'll soften through the knees. Right foot steps back. It's not as big. And the heel comes down. Front knee over ankle. You might heel toe your foot a little bit wider. Engaging through the core. Hands again, find the position that feels best. Release your hands to your hips. Step it forward. Give it a little shake. Other side. So we soften. Left foot steps back. Heel plants. Front knee. So in warrior one, both feet are planted and we're facing forward. We still have that neutral pelvis. And we find the arm position. Breathing here. The weight is in both feet. And then hands come to the hips. We step it forward. Give it a little shake out. We're going to turn sideways on our mats. You might bring your blocks with you, just out in front, and we'll come into a nice straddle. So feet are parallel to each other to start. Maybe a little wiggle or a small circle of the hips. Just getting some movement there to again find a level pelvis. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge from the hips. So hands might find your thighs. You stop here with a flat back. Stay here, or your hands might slide down your legs. They might come to blocks, any height, or the floor. Allow your head to release. Try to resist the tendency to round in the upper back to try to get further, and really let your fold come from your hips. Your knees can soften as not to overstretch or strain in the hamstrings, but try to keep the back long, and then just allow the head to relax. You can shake your head here, just releasing to come up, engage the belly, press through the feet. Your hands might come to your thighs as you sit back, or your arms can reach all the way overhead. And lower your hands to your heart. Let your toes turn in slightly. Right toes are going to turn out. Stack the knee over the ankle, warrior two. So again, finding level hips, knee over ankle. You can see your toes, shoulders over hips, your arms can reach. Maybe look over the right fingers. And then exalted warrior, turn that right palm. Inhale, reach it up. Breathe. And then on an exhale, we'll come into triangle, straightening the leg, allowing your hips to shift back. We reach, we let that arm come down, back hand comes to the hip, or maybe to the sky. Really thinking about opening up your chest and belly. Rebend the knee, coming back up into warrior two, straightening the leg, lowering the arms, turning the toes. Take a nice deep breath in and release it. Other side. So toes turn in slightly. Left foot rotates out. We stack the knee. So adjust your stance accordingly. If you really want to think about knee over ankle, tracking sort of the second and third toes. So if that means your hip rotates a little bit towards the front, that's fine. Always thinking about all parts of the body. Hands on hips or arms reaching, warrior two. So there's a softness in the chest and a slight squeezing together of the shoulder blades. Exalted warrior, turn your left palm. Reach it to the sky as you inhale. So try to keep your legs strong here. And then triangle, we straighten that leg. Let your hip shift back, reach. When you can't reach any further, the arm comes down. Backhand to the hip, opening up. Maybe it reaches to the sky. And then your bottom hand is on your thigh, your shin, a block. Try not to just collapse here. Keep this active. Keep your core active so it's this reaching away in both directions. Don't worry about getting to the floor. We're really thinking about opening up. And then on an inhale, rebend the knee, come back to warrior two. Exhale, release it back to center. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, toe your feet, give it a little shake out, and then make your way to the floor. We're going to come right onto our backs. So you can scoot a little forward towards the front of your mat, lift your chest, tuck your chin, and slowly come down, or roll over to your side, and then come onto your back. Let your knees draw in towards your chest. Plant the feet on the floor, hip distance. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left. A little stretch here through the glutes. And then release it, other side. Release it. And we'll come into bridge. So feet are planted, hip distance, hands by our sides. Press into the feet. Start to lift your hips. Engage through the glutes. Back of the head on the floor, shoulders on the floor, chin lifting away. And gently lower down. Hands might come to the belly for a moment. And we'll end in a twist. So we press into the feet. Let the hips shift to the right. Let the knees drop over to the left. If your blocks are handy or a blanket, maybe placing one between the knees or underneath to allow for some support for the legs. Your arms can open in a T or cactus position, keeping your shoulders on the floor. Your gaze can be up or looking over your right shoulder. Inhale your knees and your gaze back to center. Press into your feet. Let your hips shift to the left and your knees gently find their way to the right. And again, take whatever support you like here in your twist. Recognizing there might be a difference between the two sides. And then gently making your way back to center. Take a whole body stretch, reach it long. Hug your knees into your chest. And then lie down for savasana. So if you want to place a blanket under your head or something under your knees, or you just have your feet on the floor bent. We'll just stay here for a few breaths today, but if you have more time, you're welcome to stay. You just want your body to be in comfortable position as you release your efforts. Begin to bring some movement. Wiggling fingers, toes. And hug your knees in. Make your way to one side. And slowly begin to press yourself up to a comfortable seat, whether that's kneeling or seated. Hands in your lap, eyes closed. And I thank you for joining me. We inhale together, arms reaching overhead, palms to touch, lowering to the forehead, reminding ourselves to think kind thoughts, to the lips to speak kind words, and to our hearts to always guide our actions. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.